Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It is me, Alan, the Kitchen Alchemist. I do apologize for not having videos for the last month, but I have experienced some technical difficulties. Hopefully that's not an issue again. Now that we got that out of the way, what are we doing today? Today we're going to be making a strawberry vinaigrette. I will be showing you a process called emulsion. Emulsions fall under three categories in the kitchen: temporary, semi-permanent, and permanent. We are going to be making a temporary emulsion today, which means down the line, after it's mixed, it will separate again. A semi-permanent emulsion is like a temporary emulsion, but it's more stable due to using an emulsifier such as mustard or egg yolk. And a permanent emulsion will not break down the line. A good example is butter or mayonnaise. So what is emulsion, right? Emulsion is the process where you take two liquids that don't combine well and you use vigorous force and stabilizers to make them combine. But what's really going on in there? In a standard vinaigrette, the vinegar is broken into tiny droplets. These droplets are mixed evenly or suspended throughout the oil. The harder the mixture is beaten, the longer it is going to take to separate. This is because the vinegar is broken into even smaller droplets, so the droplets take longer to recombine with each other and separate from the oil. Some ingredients can act as stabilizers. For example, when you add mustard to a mixture, the vinaigrette stays emulsified longer. Other ingredients that work this way include vegetable purees, fruit purees, and stocks with good gelatin content. Alright, so now that you have a little bit of an idea of how emulsions work, let's get to the ingredient list and I'll tell you some more along the way. First important thing is the ratio of oil to acidity in your vinaigrette. It is 3 to 1 generally. Now this is not set in stone. Some places will do 2 to 1 or 4 to 1. I've even seen chefs do 5 to 1. So depending on what dressing you're making is really going to be where your ratio is. Let's talk about the oil we're using in our recipe. I'm using extra virgin olive oil because it has a fruity taste to it and it will marry very well with the strawberries. Just know that whatever oil you use will greatly determine and change the flavor of your recipe. Here we have 6 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. Now let's talk about the acidity that we're using in our vinaigrette. I'm using 1 tablespoon of lemon juice and 1 tablespoon of white vinegar. So that is the 2 total tablespoons needed for our 3 to 1 ratio. It is important that if you're using a very strong vinegar, a vinegar with over 5% acid in it, that you dilute it with some water. If you are going to use just lemon juice, then it is very important to go a little bit over the measurement of the required acid for your vinaigrette because the lemon juice doesn't have as much acidity to it as a vinegar. We're also going to need a cup of chopped strawberries. We're going to cook those. That way they break down easier and we have more flavor coming from them. If you don't cook the strawberries, you're going to end up with a really grainy texture to your vinaigrette. Now on to the toppings or garnish for our salad is going to be some crumbled feta. We have some chopped walnuts, some sliced red onion, and also a couple strawberries not cooked that we're going to use as garnish for the salad. We're going to be using spinach for this salad. Leafy greens are just really good pairing with vinaigrettes. They hold the vinaigrette very well and it doesn't do too much structurally to the spinach. Pretty basic seasonings here. We have paprika, salt, white pepper, and sugar. Now these are not measured out because this is going to be a to-taste recipe. Now we want to get our strawberries cooked first. We're just going to do a little bit of sugar and cook those on a low heat. Once those are done cooking, we can go ahead and put them off to the side and let them cool. Now to make our vinaigrette base, what everybody's here for, right? We're going to need our oil and our acid. We're also going to need a vessel to mix this in. I'm using an immersion blender. You can use a hand mixer or a regular blender. We're going to put our oil in, and while you're mixing, we're going to start adding our acidity. Now you can do this the other way around by putting your acid in the vessel and then slowly mixing in the oil. This is just the way I prefer to do this. And as you can see, the consistency of the mixture is already changing. It has much more of a silky texture to it, and that's what we're looking for. Now we're gonna season to taste. I'm just adding paprika, white pepper, and salt. We're gonna give it a mix. As you can see, nothing's breaking. We're keeping the same consistency and texture that we had before we added seasoning. Right there, beautiful. That's what we're looking for. Now that they're cooled, we can puree our strawberries. Once those are pureed, we can go ahead, while mixing the puree, slowly add our vinaigrette in. As you can see, we're keeping the consistency that we want for our vinaigrette. Now, this vinaigrette was a little tart for me, so I added some sugar to it and just gave it a mix. Now we can go ahead and build our salad. First, in a bowl, we're going to grab just a little bit of our garnish and throw it in. So that's our walnuts, our feta, our strawberries, and our red onion. Now we're going to add our vinaigrette. As you can see, even after it cooled, it kept a nice silky consistency to it. That's what we're looking for. We're gonna put the lid on and give it a shake. We're gonna toss that sucker right into the middle of the plate, and then we're gonna dress up this salad. Beautiful, right? This goes well with steak. It also pairs very well with shrimp, which is how I ate it. Tell me what you guys think. Hey everybody, thanks for sticking around, and if you want to know how to make a steak look that beautiful, go ahead and check out my next video on the Maillard reaction. As always, don't forget to share, like, and subscribe, and I'll catch everybody on the next one.